Oman is reported to have sent a proposal to Iran outlining how to manage the Strait of Hormuz. A source has told the Reuters news agency that Muscat has proposed a joint mechanism with Tehran to oversee the strategic waterway that would include voluntary fees for vessels using the strait. The proposal has received backing from countries in the region. Let's go live now to Resul Serdar, who's in Tehran. Resul, firstly, what more do we know about this latest proposal?
Well, the Omani delegation was in Tehran on Friday and Saturday. There have been several rounds of talks between the Omanis and the Iranian political and technical teams here. So what Omanis have proposed was a regional consortium. And so in that regional consortium, there will be Iran and all the other Gulf states that are the coastal states there. And also they have suggested that this regional consortium to manage the Strait of Hormuz and also the maritime traffic through the strait, while that consortium providing the security and safety for the for the ships that are attempting to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. And Omanis were asking it to be toll-free. However, toll-free does not mean that voluntarily the ships will not be able or in a position that they are not going to pay the fees. So they are coming up with a model of Malacca Strait. As the ships voluntarily passes, they pay a sort of fee, which is called service fee for the environmental protection. And also the Omanis are now suggesting 3 lines for the maritime traffic: the one that runs through the Iranian territorial water, and the international one, and the third one is the one going through the Omani territorial waters. So, and then once this is accepted, so Iran is going to take the responsibility of clearing the mines, particularly in the international line. So as of now, all of these are still not finalized. The technical teams are still working. However, despite the public statements, so our sources are telling us that Iran is showing a certain flexibility. Just remember, before the renewed conflict, Omanis have proposed 2 separately controlled maritime traffic routes, and Iran was against it. But now they're telling us, the sources, that Tehran is showing a sort of flexibility.
And Resul, I mean, back in April, the Iranians were already drafting their own joint protocol for the Strait. So given that this has now come from the Omanis, I mean, how agreeable might this be for Iran, given that they insist on the right to play a managerial role over the waterway?
Well, for Iranians, what they want is a mechanism that is going to be exclusively between Tehran and Muscat, as Tehran believes that these 2 states, Iran and Oman, are the literal states and they should have the exclusive rights. So, but this mechanism that Iran is suggesting will be in consultation with the other regional countries, with the other Gulf countries, the coastal countries. So regarding that, Iran is still asking for some sort of exclusive rights. So it believes that this consortium, the members of this consortium, cannot be equal because it is only Iran and Oman that are the literal states here. And regarding the fees also, who is going to decide about that fees, whether they call it toll fees or the service fees as of now? So the agreement is on to call it as service fee, because the toll fees, according to the Iranians here, they have seen that international law is not giving a room for that. So the service fee is now what they are using as terminology. So they also want the exclusive rights how to determine about the service fees as well. But one of the major points here is not only how they are going to make the arrangements with the regional countries, but also Iran to sell this to the public, the domestic public in Iran as well, because since the beginning of the war Iranians have been heavily, rhetorically at least, heavily invested in that the Strait of Hormuz will remain under Iranian control. So now what we know, there are different fractions in Iran that are not agreeing on that, and some of the hardliners are insisting that the Strait of Hormuz is inherently a part of the Iranian sovereignty, and it should remain like that.
Resul, many thanks for the update. Al Jazeera's Resul Serdar in Tehran.